It's All Gravy with Teresa. Hey guys, this is Teresa. You're watching It's All Gravy with Teresa. We're here in our kitchen again in Bowling Green, Kentucky on a nice day for December. And today we're going to make a good favorite comfort food, potato soup. And there are so many varieties of this. From when I was a kid, potato soup was mainly like stewed potatoes. We didn't add a whole lot of stuff to it. It was just stewed potatoes with salt and pepper and maybe a little bit of cream if you had it. And over the years, I guess as you get more products or you learn more, we've learned to add more and more flavors to it, and there's just dozens of ways that you can make this your own. So we've already peeled and diced 6 cups of potatoes, and I've got those boiling. It'll take about 15-20 minutes for them to get done, and they're just about there. And for 6 cups medium potatoes, I peeled about 9 medium-sized potatoes. And you can make the chunks whatever size you want. I do mine kind of small because that's what the family likes. So we've got that going. We have cooked a pound of bacon, and I cooked it real crisp because I'm going to cut this up, crumble it up into pieces, and we will serve this on top of our soup when we get done. We have the bacon grease that I saved from that, and I'm going to pour all but about 2 tablespoons into my little container that I saved. Could you unplug me, Clint?
Yeah. There you go.
So I'm going to pour that out for it, leaving about 2 tablespoons in there. So that's the good stuff in the bottom. And in that, we are going to saute our onions and carrots. Now, my mother used to put celery in with hers too. But the celery, y'all heard me say it before, Mike doesn't like celery. So, you know, I do what he says. So we're putting, at least about not putting celery in his food. We're going to put these carrots, and a nice little story about these carrots. If you have children who are in the Warren County School District, and I think they're doing it in Butler County, I have a granddaughter going to school there, they bring the kids lunch 2 days a week here, and there's always these little bag of carrots. And we eat a few of them, but we can't eat all of them. So there's all kinds of ways to use these where they're not wasted. Remember, we're living intentional and using what we have. So I've took these little bite-sized carrots and just cut them into pieces. And then we have an onion, a medium-sized onion, which is about a cup, that we're going to saute with these. Just like that. We're going to let them cook till they get tender. And then we can go ahead and mix up our, I think I've got a pot big enough, Clint, for us to mix up our
roux.
And again, I was telling you, this is one of these great basic recipes that you can add and change and do however you want. In mine, we're going to put 1 cup cream of chicken soup, or not 1 cup, 1 can cream of chicken, and 1 can of mushroom. I think I said it backwards. Mushroom, cream of chicken. And we're going to put 1 each and 2 cans of water. And then we're going to put our salt and pepper. And then we're going to put 4 cups of half and half in there. And when we get all that stirred up, we're going to put it on the stove to get warm. And in this skillet, we're going to make a roux, a thickening, after these vegetables get done. So it's a couple of little steps to it, but this is where you get your flavor. whenever you saute these, they already smell so good. And I know I talk about that all the time, but it's the truth. They smell so good. The onions and the carrots and the bacon grease, man, it's going to be good. So, we will go ahead and put these in here. Is that what you want to do, Clint?
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay. There are, you can use the little, what do you call it, bouillon cubes to get your broth if you want. You can use chicken stock. Again, like I said, this is just so, leave out the mushroom if you don't like the mushrooms. We do, and we hide it where the kids don't know it's in there. But that's one of the reasons I really like this recipe, is because you can make it your own and what your kids like and what your family likes. The reason we're putting this separate is to get it warm. We want it hot and boiling when we put our thickening in here, so we don't have a big gobby mess. If you try to put the thickening in here and the water's cold, it's not going to do what it's supposed to do. Not going to do its job. So we're going to put, you know, I'm old school. I'm going to fill my cans up so I don't lose anything. So there's 1 and 2. I hope you guys had a great Thanksgiving. I saw that my Aunt Audrey, thank you Aunt Audrey, made the cinnamon bread by using the right amount of sour cream, and it turned out beautiful. I haven't talked to her about how it tasted, but she had a picture of it she sent me, and it looked amazing. So I hope you all tried out that recipe. Now we need 4 cups of half and half. And my handy dandy, where'd I get these from?
The paper chef?
Paper chef. And just for reference, that I just now found out, this is 4 cups. And I should have known that because right on here it says 1/4. I probably would have if I'd stopped and thought about it for a minute. So, I really wish you guys could smell these vegetables. How good they smell. So when we take these vegetables out, we're going to put 6 tablespoons of butter in here. And we're going to put 6 tablespoons of all-purpose flour. And our salt and pepper that we're going to add to that. And we're going to make a, like I said, we're going to make a little roux and add it to this hot liquid. So, let's put all this over here and start getting it warm. I can't help but think of the guy when we first started, Clint, and the whisk. So I'm going to get my whisk, Mr. Man, and mix this stuff up good. Our condensed soup. We have also, we're talking about living intentional. You know, I always go overboard at Christmas, whether I can afford it or not. And I usually end up spending on credit cards. It takes me the year to pay them off. And after talking to my older grandchildren, you know, they have everything that they could ever want. If they can't think of anything that they need, it's all wants, then they're in pretty good shape. So we have decided we are not putting anything on charge cards. I'm buying things that they need more than want. And it'll be a smaller Christmas here. Our children, our foster children, the same. We've had 2 really big Christmases for them. And now we are talking about that somebody has to work and buy those gifts. And Santa Claus brings the special things. And the other things you have to be worked and paid for. So we've been talking a lot about that. We took the children out after they got their allowance, and our church is putting together food baskets. So the children, with their own money, bought canned goods this past week, and I was very proud of them. They did good on their shopping and what they thought would go in the food basket, and I let them buy what they wanted to. And they were very proud to go to the counter and pay for it themselves. So they're learning how to count change, and so it was a good experience for them. I don't know where I went, Clint. I checked out there for a minute. I went yesterday. Y'all know I had the ulcer deal that I really have not recovered from. I felt so bad, and my iron level has come up to almost 9, but I still felt so bad. I went to the doctor a couple weeks ago, and the lab technician went ahead and did a platelet count, and we found out that my iron was depleted. So they set me up for iron infusion, and I had the first one yesterday, and the experience, it was fine. The lady who did it, I'm going to call her Miss P, because I don't know if she wants her name said, at Greenview, and she was just beautiful to talk to, made it go by fast. It took about 3 hours, but we had a good conversation. And just how small the world is. Clint and I were talking, her parents, I knew her parents because they traded in Teresa's all the time. And after she described, I didn't know their name, but after she described them, I knew exactly who they were. And what a good feeling to know this lady that I'd never met. I had touched her life and not even known it because of her parents. So it's really, Teresa's restaurant was so good to me. I really get tore up sometimes of all the people that I have met, and the people who were so good to me and mentored me. Most of those folks are way up in age, or they've already passed on. So when I hear about touching their families, how we did, it's still a good feeling to know what we did. What we did was working, which was loving on people and just loving you right where you're at, no matter what your status was, your economic status. So these are about done. We've got this on, getting warm. Our potatoes, Clinton, I'm going to go ahead and drain the potatoes, and I'm going to save about a cup of the juice in here, just in case we need it. If it gets too thick or we want to make a little more. That's another thing about living intentional and making your food stretch. There's ways to do that without just watering it down. So that's what we're going to do. I'm going to first pour about a cup of the liquid into this, and then the rest of it I will drain the potatoes. Just so you know where I'm at, honey. I don't know about you guys and virtual school. I have about had a meltdown over it. And we have to remember that, I just turned 60 years old, and I graduated in 1978. And this math, whoever made up this math, the people should be tied up and made to count marbles all day. So I can help them, but then they have to show how they got their work. So we're having a little bit of trouble with that. And I'm sure I'm not the only one. So there is about a cup of that good looking broth.
Do-si-do.
Yeah. And then we're going to drain the rest of the potatoes off. There they are. That looks good. Folks, that's okay. I got it. Probably wasn't nothing in my way. I keep thinking I'm going to clean this refrigerator off, but we have all kinds of artwork, and my grandchildren will come in and they know Mr. Tripp made these two, and if they're not right here, he's going to throw a fit This is a helicopter, and this is, who knows what that is. And then when they do good at school, they get to put up their behavior certificates. And then my Mila, I found this the other day. She is gonna be 12, I think. And I found this where she wrote when she was about 6 years old of what she wanted for Thanksgiving dinner. So, hello, Trip. I was just telling people about your stuff on the refrigerator. So, I hadn't cleaned it off yet. What are you doing? So, here we go. Our vegetables are about done. Our stuff is getting hot over here. So, I'm going to get Trip checked in, and we're going to come back and put all this soup together for you. We'll be back in just a little bit. Guys? No. All right. Here we are. We're back again. And we're going to put our vegetables, see how good those look? Just onions and carrots, or you could do celery, whatever you wanted to do. And I put mine in the bacon grease just because I think it gives it more flavor. So we're going to add those in our pot. Just like that. And this is the pot that I cooked the potatoes in. We're going to plug this back in and put 6 tablespoons of butter. So I'm going to go ahead and pour my potatoes in here also. Like that. They're nice and done, not too done, or you just have a mush. We're going to set these back over here. And this is our soup and our half and half. And the water you can, or the mixture you can see is good and combined, good and hot. So here we're going to do the 6 tablespoons of butter. And you know, and it's marked out for you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That much I should have just put the whole stick, but I won't. There we go. We're going to let that melt. And then we're going to add 6 tablespoons of self-rising flour. We're going to do these pretty true to filling the spoon up. You know, a lot of times if it's sugar or something sweet, I'll fill it up more. 4, 5, and 6. What is it? Excuse me. Who is? Okay, I'll be there in just a minute. So we've got the butter. And it getting a little bit brown is going to be okay because that just makes the flavor that much better. We're going to add a half a teaspoon of salt and a half a teaspoon of pepper. I'm just going to put that in with my flour. And then we're going to put this in here and make our thickening. Like so. And let that cook a little bit, and you want it to cook. That's one reason the butter helps if you let it get a little brown. Because if you don't, then your thickening is going to taste just like flour, and you don't want that. Because you got a lot of starch already with your potato. But we're going to let that cook just for a minute. We're going to come over here and make sure that I'm going to turn this back up. I see the army man. So we're going to turn this back up and get it to a good boil. got our vegetables here. I'm going to mix them a little bit. Just to get our carrots up off the bottom. That looks so good already. I could eat it like that, Clint. I'm going to unplug my electric skillet here. I usually use my iron skillets. And I don't know why I didn't. I just came to this one. So we're going to add this thickening in here. And put all of it in. And see how that's bubbling, boiling. That's what you want. So we're going to stir this up. And let it start thickening. So again, I apologize for all the noise, guys, but this is my life. We have a house full here, and Clint's getting a little more used to it. You know, he and Tristan live by themselves with a dog, which is a little different than, how many kids we even got here? I
Who knows?
I lose count some days. But that's great. Great, great. So now, I'm going to pour this over into my potatoes. See how beautiful that is? Nice, nice. Put this over here with a little water in it. So I have easy cleanup. Isn't it so pretty? Got that all incorporated. And that little bit of dark that you're seeing in there is the onions where we browned them. But that's not a problem for me at all. I like it all cooked up. And this looks really good right now. We're not going to have it until supper time. So I will probably go ahead and pour this juice in. If you're getting ready to serve it, you make it and you're serving it at night, right then you won't have to. But you know, this will all thicken up if it sets. So I'm going to save my broth for when we have supper. But I'm going to put this in a bowl and decorate it up for you and let you see how pretty it is to serve. I hope you will try this. The cooler the weather gets, the more soups and casseroles that we make. And just a quick learning how we can use what we have. I come in and didn't have time, excuse me, didn't have time to make dinner the other night, or didn't think I had time. Well, in the pantry, we had 2 cans of cooked chicken. And we had some rigatoni noodles that I got at Kroger's for, what, 10 for $1. And we had some white sauce, or Alfredo sauce. And I fixed that and grilled a loaf of bread, and everybody loved it. So I put it together in like 15 minutes. Everybody got all that they needed. They were full. And it saved us, cost us, if we go just through the drive-thru, it cost us $60 to $70 for all of us to get food for supper. So in that little bit, I said, no, let me see what I can find. We throwed that together instead of spending that $60 or $70. And everybody was satisfied. Again, I hope you try it. The bacon is a great addition. If you don't want to do the bacon, you don't have to, for people who are trying to do without the fat. But you know, we eat butter and bacon here. But you can make it, Carol, you can make it without the butter, and you can make it without the bacon. You would use olive oil and just not use the bacon for a topping. I love you guys. I hope you're getting in the Christmas spirit. I hope you will help someone today. I hope you will think about somebody other than your own household. Although we think about our family first and meeting their needs. That's been a big one for me, meeting needs. So, we're going to say goodbye. Thanks